Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner, feel good about driving. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by Hyundai, new thinking, new possibilities.
Hello and welcome to a brand new week of Autoline Daily, where we cover the industry that never sleeps. So, which car company pulled in the most cash last year? That honor goes to the Volkswagen Group, $260 billion. But Toyota is hot on its heels and could surpass VW before the year's over. Next come Nissan, Renault, Daimler, General Motors, and Ford. In fact, the way things are going, Ford could catch GM in revenue. Next up are Hyundai, Kia, and Honda, then Fiat, Chrysler, and BMW. I find that ranking these automakers by revenue is very telling. For example, look how far Daimler is up the list, even though it sells millions of vehicles less than Volkswagen, Toyota, or GM. And remember, we're not talking about the bottom line, we're talking about the top line. And just to give you an idea of the economic impact the auto industry has, these top 10 automakers generated $1.6 trillion in revenue just last year. In a stunning development, Bloomberg reports that Toyota will move large parts of its U.S. headquarters from California to Texas. The company has more than 5,300 employees at its campus in Torrance, California, and supposedly it's going to inform them of its decision today. Reportedly, the new headquarters will be near Plano, Texas. Toyota is also reorganizing its marketing unit in the U.S. Some employees will be reassigned, while others will be offered voluntary buyouts. And you know, Toyota is not the first automaker to bail out of California. Nissan moved its headquarters from the Golden State to Tennessee several years ago, and Honda has also moved a lot of resources out of the state over to Ohio. A report from the Associated Press says that Volkswagen is playing hardball with the state of Tennessee. It's all about getting the state to give the car maker $300 million in incentives to build a second product in that plant. In this case, an SUV that VW badly needs. Tennessee reportedly pulled those incentives off the table when it looked like the UAW would organize that plant. Volkswagen says it's already secured incentives from another location, presumably in Mexico, to build the SUV there. But I would tell Tennessee to take those threats with a grain of salt. I see automakers do this all the time. They dangle out the prospect of jobs as long as they get millions of taxpayer dollars. Well, here's my Autoline insight. Bargain hard, Tennessee. The Chattanooga plant desperately needs another product if it is going to be profitable. Last year, it only built 133,000 Passats, and sales of the Passat are falling fast. And VW cannot gamble with that billion-dollar facility only making one model. Hey, are you interested in working in the auto industry? Or if you are already working there, are you interested in getting a different job? Well, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation is holding a giant jobs matchmaking fair in Detroit at Ford Field, where the Lions play, on June 13th. But you have to register before April 30th, this coming Wednesday. All kinds of automotive companies are involved, including GM, Ford, and Chrysler, Toyota, and Nissan, as well as most of the major international supplier companies. They want to hire 1,200 people with skills in engineering, sales, manufacturing, operations, supply chain, project management, HR, marketing, IT, and design. There's no cost to attend this jobs fair, but you do have to register. Go to the website, michigandreamjob.com, and hopefully you'll find the job of your dreams. Performance fans rejoice because according to the folks over at Motor Trend, the 2015 Chevy SS will be adding a manual transmission and magnetic ride control suspension. It's currently offered with a 6-speed automatic, front McPherson struts, and a multi-link rear suspension with coilover shocks. The move could happen as early as this summer. And speaking of GM, Buick will now offer an exclusive interior for the LaCrosse called the Ultra Luxury Interior Package. It features premium materials and color combinations that are only available on leather, Premium and Premium 2 trim levels equipped with the 3.6-liter V6 engine. The package is currently only available for the LaCrosse, but Buick says it's exploring all avenues. Maybe they ought to explore all park avenues. Sorry, couldn't help it. Cuba remains a police state, but automotive enthusiasts are sneaking in street racing right under the nose of the authorities. That's coming up next.
There's so much to love about Bridgestone's Dueler tires. The amazing traction, the quiet, comfortable ride, and they're really tough. It's like loving 3 tires in one.
A lot of you might remember a documentary we did a couple of years ago about the classic cars in Cuba. You can still check that out on our website. But even though change is coming to Cuba, 2 constants remain. It's still a poor population, driving some of the sweetest classic cars on Earth. In fact, there's a new film hitting theaters this year that takes us behind the scenes of the Havana Motor Club, where we experience the forbidden sport, at least in Cuba since the revolution, of car racing. Check out my interview with the film's director, Bent Jorgen Perlmutt. So this is drag racing that they're doing?
Yes, it's either 200 or 400 meter drag racing.
And what kind of cars are showing up? To describe the scene there.
Yeah, well, our category, which they call the heavyweights in Cuba, are all V8s. And 4 of our 5 racers, actually all 5 of our main characters, they drive all classic American cars from the 50s, including a 55 Bel Air, a 54 Ford Thunderbird, and then 2 other Chevy Bel Airs from, I think, both 56.
I was in Cuba myself in the year 2000, hung out with a bunch of the car club people there.
Oh, cool.
But I never heard anything about racing.
They're very tight-lipped about it, and I was lucky to go to this random car event, so it was a great find, I think.
Where's the project stand right now in terms of the progress of the movie, and what's your goal with doing this?
We're about 2 months away from finishing the edit, and we have a 90-minute version right now that we're starting to add music to, which is a vital component because music in Cuba is so rich. And so we hope to lock picture sometime in June for many reasons. Biggest one being I'm about to have my first child at the end of June, and my partner would kill me if this film is still going on during her birth. But we are also in the middle of a Kickstarter campaign, which actually ends this Friday. And that's just to help us raise money to get the best soundtrack we can, to help us finish the edit, to do a sound mix, which we're actually very excited about adding sound elements to, because you know the sounds of these old American classics, and a lot of them have their original engines. It's a symphony, and we're really excited to bring out the sound of the engines with the music, with just flavors in Cuba. On the streets. It's such a picturesque place to film that we really want to do the soundscape justice also. So yeah, we're hoping to finish it in June, and we want to start showing it in festivals this fall and hopefully have it at a theater near you by the winter.
Well, I hope this interview helps you get the money that you need, because I want to see what you guys shot. This sounds fascinating to me.
Well, thank you very much. And yeah, we're excited to have you supporting us, because we need your fans to really make this film have the space that we feel it deserves.
Well, thanks for your time and for your story, Bent. This was really cool.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care.
Bent says they shot more than 300 hours of race footage and interviews during their time in Cuba. There's a lot of editing to do. So if you want to help the team finish the film, you can either search for Havana Motor Club at Kickstarter.com and donate, or go to our daily show notes and click on the link, and it'll take you right there too. Anyway, that wraps up today's report.